back to 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We begin today in South America, where 12 has been shot dead outside the venue that was hosting a local cockfight in Colombia. Authorities are still trying to determine the relevant details of the crime. From BBC, quote, weapons and replica police and army uniforms were seized during police raids in the northwestern Manabal province on Friday, a day after the attack in the rural community of La Vesia. Footage of the attack shared on social media showed a gunman entering the ring and opening fire as terrified spectators dived for cover. Reports in local media suggest the attacker in fake military gear were members of a criminal gang whose rivals were at the cockfight. A criminal investigation has been launched by the provincial authorities. End quote. Next, we shift our focus to Africa, where Morocco is seeking to expand its role in Africa's LNG, or liquid natural gas, market, both being a transport hub, but also a possible producer. From Reuters, quote, Morocco's natural gas needs are expected to increase to 8 BCM in 2027 from 1 BCM currently, according to ministry estimates. The new infrastructure will also be connected to an underdeveloped project that aims to connect Morocco to Nigerian gas fields, the statement added. The Morocco-Nigeria pipeline, agreed to in 2016, will stretch over 6,800 kilometers, including 5,100 kilometers offshore, and is projected to cost nearly $25 billion, according to Energy Ministry's answers sent to Reuters. Morocco and Nigeria are preparing the setup of a special purpose company that will look into technical and legal aspects of the project, the same source said. Moving across the Atlantic, where we go to the Dominican Republic, that has begun to increase their deportation numbers, though to some people's consternation. From BBC, quote, Dominican authorities said 48 pregnant women, 39 new mothers, and 48 children were removed on Monday. The swoop is one of 15 measures announced by President Luis Abinader to cut the number of undocumented migrants in his country, which shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti. Abinader's government has been criticized for its harsh treatment of Haitian migrants, many of whom are fleeing the extreme gang violence in their country. Those deported were taken to a detention center to have their biometric data and fingerprints taken before being handed to Haitian authorities at the Les Pina border crossing, end quote. Next, across the Pacific to Vietnam, where trade relations strained with the United States, the country's leadership has turned to other nations to shore up their trade agreements. From Reuters, quote, the Southeast Asian industrial hub has been slapped by the Trump administration with 46% reciprocal tariffs, currently paused until July, which, if applicable, could undermine a growth model that relies on exports to the United States, its top market, and large investments by foreign manufacturers. It recently instructed officials to combat trade fraud, counterfeiting, and other issues of concern to the United States, as the country is readied to start talks with Washington on tariffs, end quote. To the south in Australia, we go where Peter Dutton, the main candidate to take the role of PM from the opposition party, recently tried to clarify his statement that he got into some hot water for. From BBC, quote, Dutton and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese were asked about the increasing impact of climate change, to which Dutton replied he would let scientists and others pass that judgment. He had previously said that the flooding and natural disasters were, quote, part of history of our nation and this country, end quote. The comments generated outrage from climate groups and mockery from Albanese. And finally, we go to Europe, where internal clashes in Bosnia may cause escalations of tensions. From Reuters, Sarajevo in April, quote, Bosnia's state police, SIPIA, and on Wednesday tried to arrest Serb separatist leader Morad Dodik, who is wanted for attacking the constitutional order, but were stopped by his armed police force, a SEPA spokeswoman said. Quote, the state court issued an arrest warrant for Dudek Dudek, the president of Bosnia's autonomous Serb Republic, and one of the two close allies after they ignored a summons to the investigation of the separatist legislation that initiated this and which has been suspended by a constitutional court, end quote. And if you want to read any more details about today's stories, all the links will be provided in the description below the like and subscribe button. Also down there, you can find the link to the podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podvine, as well as the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, where I post the direct videos to the links on YouTube for both these episodes that come out on Tuesday and Thursday, as well as the normal podcast, which is the Daily Flip podcast that comes out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe, don't die.